Hello everyone. Today we have a tacamine acoustic that belongs to Ray Brewer, who is a very familiar face on our local news channel WMUR here in New Hampshire. He just recently retired from broadcasting and is looking forward to doing all the things he wanted to do but never had time for, including brushing up on his guitar chops. For 28 years, he was the man on the scene covering many of the biggest breaking stories. It appears we have a couple of interesting things in common. The first concert he attended was Frank Zappa, and so is mine.
Daddy's Junky Music shut down all 12 of its New England...
He was also the man on the scene when Daddy's Junky Music was forced to close its doors. The company I worked for 30 solid years, and where I honed most of my skills in guitar repair. So here's to you, Mr. Brewer. Let's get your guitar back into good working order and ready for a new chapter in life. The instrument has some uneven frets. As you can see, it's pivoting on those higher frets. We're going to level them out and make them nice and even. There's the worst spot, right there. Looks like the fingerboard radius is about 10 inches. With just a few passes of the radius block, you can see where the dust lands on the fingerboard, telling us where the high spots are. There's a few fingernail wear marks in the fingerboard itself. We're not going to worry about that. I'm a little suspicious of the actual radius of the fret, so I'm going to switch to a 12-inch radius. Now that the frets are all the same height, I'm going to recrown the tops of the frets so that they have a nice round bead on top. The ends of the frets feel a little sharp, so I'm going to use a special file jig that will set a new angle and clean up the edge of the ends of the frets so that they are even with the binding. Now that the fret ends are even with the binding, I'm going to use a special file to round off the sharp edges of the frets. frets are then sanded with finer and finer sandpaper until it reach about 1500 grit. It'll be ready for the buffing wheel. The fingerboard is then cleaned up with a little bit of solvent to get rid of all the buffing compound. Any remaining dirt on the binding is cleaned off with a single edge razor blades. And for the final touch, we'll put some lemon oil wax onto the fingerboard to give it a nice sheen. And now we're going to re-glue the nut back in with a little bit of fish glue. Next, we'll clean out the inside and give it a nice polishing. Get it strung up and ready to go. Now that we have string tension on the neck, it's time to adjust it and give it one final check. I'm not happy with the fret slot height, so I'm going to rework the nut and recut the slots. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Brewer, for all those wonderful years of your excellent reporting. Bye-bye.